Ever since I was 12 years old, I have been suffering from migraine headaches, and they used to be so bad sometimes until I would black out from them. And oh Lord, y'all listen to me good tonight. I kept on having those headaches throughout the years of my life. When I became a grown man, seemed like they started getting worse. My blood pressure kept spiking up to over 200, even while I was on medication. But look ahead, 2017, my doctor referred me to a neurologist, and I went to see the neurologist and ran several tests on me. A couple of weeks later, he called me back and said, well, I got some good news and some bad news. I said, tell me the bad news. He said, well, the reason why your headaches have become more severe is because for some time you've been having a dime-sized tumor on the parietal lobe of your brain. Lord have mercy. I said, well, tell me what can we do, doc? He said, well, I can put you on some medication and treatments, and it'll help you with the symptoms. But I never seen it go away on its own. He said the problem is that if we operate, there's a great chance that you're gonna lose mobility. There may be a change in your speech. There may be a change in the way you live. Your whole life will be different after this procedure. Lord have mercy. And I began to weigh out the options, y'all. And I began to cry because I couldn't imagine my life not being able to sing God's praises, not being able to preach God's word. I said, God, what am I gonna do? I said, Lord, if I be real, I am afraid. I don't know what to do. But I said, Lord, if you carry me, I believe everything is gonna be okay. But you know how it is, church, when depression has already set in. Anxiety is high, and sometimes it's hard to keep on going. I got tired of the pain. I got tired of going to bed with pain, waking up with pain. I got tired, y'all. And 2 years later, in 2019, I remember I was staying in a little motel, and I sat down one day at the table, and I took out a pen and a little piece of paper, and I began to write me a letter. And in that letter, y'all, I told my son, I said, please forgive me. I wish I could have been a better father. I told my church, please forgive me. I wish I could have been a stronger pastor. I told the woman who's my wife now, please forgive me. I said, God, I know it's wrong, but please forgive me. Y'all, I got ready to take my own life. Lord, I got ready to take my own life, but you know what? Every time I tried to do it, it wouldn't work. I had that letter on the table. I would see it every day, and the enemy was trying to remind me that it's over now. You may as well go ahead and do it. But what the devil didn't know is that the God I serve won't let the devil kill what he said will live. I'm talking about the God I serve. Even when I couldn't feel him, y'all, God had his hands around me. Listen, and whenever you're going through a season in your life when you can't do it on your own, God will send somebody to strengthen you when you're weak, to pull you up when you can't get up yourself. And so there was a man, rest well, Pop, a man by the name of Ernest Wise Sr. And early one Sunday morning, when I should have been getting ready for church, he came by to get me. But that morning I was getting ready to take my life. I was getting ready to end it all. I was getting ready to let go. He kept on knocking at the door and wouldn't stop knocking. And he heard me crying. He said, man, please open the door. I finally opened the door, and you know what God spoke to me? He said, listen, I sent somebody to show you that you don't have to give up now. But there are some folk that are praying for you. There are some folk that really love you for who you are. And I stopped by to tell you tonight, when I got back from church that evening, I tore that letter. I said, God, if you be with me, you may not come when I want you to, but I know you're always there. You always gonna be there. Yeah. And you know what? I'm still dealing. I'm still going through my struggles. But ain't it good to know that when God has given you a new life, He's given you a fresh wind, He's given you another chance. When you realize that it could have been the other way, things that used to bother you, they don't bother you no more. Things that used to get you down, they can't get to you no more. I found out that He's always, He may not come when you want Him. Yeah, He's on time. He's on time. He may not God bless you when you want Him. God bless you. Just leave it in His hands. He's on